Hello. Sorry, I don't quite know what I'm doing this morning. So, hello, my lovelies, and welcome to another Live Purposefully Now live broadcast. Uh, First, let me introduce myself. I'm the one who doesn't quite know where I am, obviously. I am Elle Summer. I am the founder of Live Purposefully Now, a website that I designed to hopefully inspire, motivate, and encourage those who want to continue to grow so that they can find the way in life that is uniquely perfect for them. You can check out the website for yourself and see if there are articles that might resonate with you, that might support you to become your greatest ideal. And today I'm going to be talking about how to stay positive and a lot more. But first of all, I'm just going to say a quick hello to the beautiful souls who are here already. Obviously, Jenny White. Jenny White is amazing. You really need to check out her Facebook page. Jenny, please put a link into your Facebook page so everybody can take a look at it. Jenny takes care of my page so beautifully, keeps me under control and keeps everything running smoothly. And I'm truly, truly grateful for her for that. Who else do we have here that I can say a quick hello to before we get going on how to stay positive and a lot more? Hello, Hapor, Linas, and Tracy Smith. Hello, welcome, Tracy. Kimberly, hey, Kimberly, how are you this beautiful morning? Maria Rausch, hey, Maria. Joy Kaniza, Amy Singh, Agnes McNair. I love the name Agnes. You know, it was my grandmother's name. I was so tempted to name my daughter after her. I honestly wish I had. I love those beautiful names. Mary Franco and Satyenda Sangam, hey to you. Julia Tawil. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. Please forgive me. I'm just going to call you Julia. Sharon, Christy Burridge. Hey, how is it in Australia? Is it your summertime or your wintertime? I think it's your wintertime, maybe. Anyway, hello to all and a great welcome. And today, as I say, I'm going to talk about how to stay positive and a whole lot more. When you learn to stay positive, everything in our world, everything in your world improves. And why do you suppose that is? I'll tell you. Basically, because if you're not positive, you're negative. If you're not going in one direction, you're going in another. Because everything in this universe comes with an opposite. You know, up and down, ignorance, knowledge, hot, cold, positive, negative. And staying positive means staying in a vibration that causes you to feel good, to do better, to keep growing into that ideal you. And these things don't happen by accident. You know, we've all met those people who are the most positive people ever, the ones who some might call Pollyannas, and I've been called that more than once, and you know what? I don't care. But what it means when we meet these positive people is because they have a great attitude to life. So mostly, how do we get there? And most important, how do we stay there? We know we can get there because you've been there before, probably loads of times. But it's the staying there, regardless of what's happening in life, that causes the problem. So start here. Focus on something good and make up your mind that's where you're going to stay. And it might take a while, but you can form the habit of staying positive just by choosing this is who you are from now on. I know it sounds silly and simple, but it really is, except there's a little more, which we will get to later. And so you make this choice and you veer off track every now and then. But it's no biggie. You can get back on track pretty quickly once you've already decided that you can do this and that you choose to do this. And then you begin keeping an eye open for what's good. And you harvest the good because it's there. Don't take pleasure in finding out what's wrong with things. Far too many people do that these days. And any fool can do that. And you, my darlings, are no fools. I know. It takes energy and focus to think of what's right, to feel good in the face of everything that tells us that things are not that great. And feeling is simply a conscious vibration, a conscious awareness, I would say, of the vibration that we're in. That's what feeling is. And positive feeling equals good vibration, and negative feelings, not so much. And let's face it, we all want to be in that good vibration, not only because it feels good, it's good for our health and our well-being, it's good for our relationships, but it's also that we then become a magnet for more good of every kind by simply staying in that place. And now for the rest. Here's the more. The more is repetition. Learn to use the power of repetition. It not only helps you staying in that positive state, but it will have an incredible impact on your future. For instance, think about your life now versus how you'd like it to be. You know, what's happened in the past is done. It's tomorrow that we're looking at. Growth is normal. Growth is a normal part of life. If it's not growing, it's dying, and it's no more complicated than that. And to grow, we have to change. We can't stay where we are and get different results. What we'll do is we get stagnant. It's like sometimes we earn a little, but we owe a lot, and we want different results. And sometimes everything that can go wrong does go wrong, and we want things to start to go right. And using repetition, not only can you get into a positive vibration and stay there, you honestly can change your life. So let's begin with these two things. Know where you are and know where you're going. Sounds simplistic, I know. But sometimes we really do overlook the obvious, don't we? We're looking to make life more complicated than it need be. But once we know where we are, we can get moving in the direction of where we're going. Always beginning within. Not trying to change the outer reality before we've changed the inner. Because we all know that to do that, we're fighting against nature herself, and we won't win. So many people are stuck getting the same thing over and over. In actual fact, I'm here to tell you a lot of people are stuck. I hear from them every single day. Most people got the same results this year as they got last year. And yes, it might fluctuate a bit, but not much. Sound familiar? I want to tell you, my lovelies, that you have mental powers that will blow you away when you start to use them, because you are God's highest creation. You are designed for greatness, not stuckness or stuckiness or whatever it might be. And it isn't that people don't have goals or they don't want to head in another direction. Often it's just because they don't know how. But for the most part, they're generally stuck because they don't know where they are. Remember to know, first of all, to know where you are and then to know where you're going. Well, too many don't know where they are. And I'm not talking about physically. Physically, we know we're in the room. Physically, we know we're sitting watching this. Or physically, people know they're in a field or on a street or on a farm. But mentally, they don't know where they are. In their inner world, they don't know where they are or why they keep getting the same results. And it's because they don't understand that they have to control the flow of thought energy so that it improves everything with which it connects. We are, and we always will be, where our thoughts take us. That is where we are. Far too many people are unaware of where they are because they're so used to their thought patterns that it all seems normal and obvious, and it can hardly be seen at all. And I just want to say that if you're continuing to get results you don't want and end up in experiences you don't want, that's not normal. Believe me, it's not normal. You were designed to grow, to not stagnate. You know that. Your thought energy must harmonize with your desires. Because, dear ones, you're a walking dynamo. You just don't know how to direct it. Your mental programming, your habitual thoughts and feelings are controlling your behavior. And so that controls your results. And honestly, it doesn't matter how hard you work, how many hours you put in. If your mental programming doesn't change, the results remain the same. This is what happens for most of us. And if you don't remember anything of this broadcast, burn this idea into your mind. If my current mental programming stays in control, nothing will change. Nothing. It all remains the same, which is why so many of us experience the same thing, more or less, year after year. I mean, it's really boring, isn't it, when you keep getting the same stuff? So how do we do this? How do we control the flow of thought energy? Well, the good thing is that we have an ability to choose. And this gives us the ability to shift our programming. And there are two ways that you can shift your programming. The first one, let's get back to that repetition thing. The constant repetition of ideas that are essentially opposite to your current programming will change your life. They will. The other way is the personal experience of an emotional impact. But this is hard, and we really don't want to go that route. For instance, when my husband died many years ago, the emotional impact was huge. And out of the experience of his illness and his loss came a big change in programming for me. The things I believed changed. The things I said to myself changed. The way I felt changed. I'm telling you, from my own experience, repetition is a much easier way. But with repetition, sometimes we fall by the wayside. We do. Or we forget that repetition creates a positive life force in our world. So we need to be continuously switching up that old repetitive programming that's not going to help us stay positive. You've probably experienced seminars or coaches or mentors who've helped you to change your perspective on life. And I'm going to recommend that you take more seminars, have more mentors, as many as necessary to have the programming shift that will change your results. Or listen to broadcasts of people you respect, not just once, but over and over. Or read something, not just once, but many times. My darling one and I are constantly working on upgrading our programming. I've got a book. I don't have it here. It's over there. And we've been reading the same chapter from this book for over a month, for the month of June. And we've decided we're going to continue reading it for the month of July too. And we've also been immersed in writing a book, which means writing, rewriting, editing, rewriting. And these things have a huge impact on our consciousness, on our programming, so that we can virtually see it changing before our very eyes. It's really cool stuff. I really highly recommend you do that. And we love this because we know this is how our programming changes. And let me tell you why. The reason that we read or listen to the same thing over and over is because our minds wander. You know how it is. You've probably noticed when you're reading something over and over that one day you see something that you never saw before, or it didn't resonate with you until then it did. That's because our mind wanders and we bring it back to what we're engaged with, but nevertheless, we've missed bits. And sometimes you might, an idea that you've seen or heard hits your mind and you keep reading, but your mind is caught up with that idea and you're off on another thought track. Has that ever happened to you? I know it's happened to me lots of times. And let's suppose you then come back to the book again. What are the odds that you will stop at the same idea and get off track in exactly the same place? Not really that high. So you get involved emotionally with a different idea on the next read, and another one on the next read, and you might wander off track then. But it doesn't matter because you are repeatedly reading the same thing for whatever period of time works for you, where you can actually see changes in your programming. And you see that because you have new ideas that you're thinking from, and you see new things popping up in your life. Look for them. Look for those good things. Because through this repetition, everything in your life, my lovelies, can change. And once I worked this out for myself over a really long period of time, I just wanted to share these ideas that I'd learned. And that's why I started my blog, really. And that's why we're writing a book. The repetition of hearing or reading the same thing over and over changes everything in you, which changes everything outside of you. This is where the focus really needs to be. And I know it's not always easy. I know that the outer world is sensuous with all the sights and the sounds and the feel, and I know that it's distracting. But it's essential that you take the time to make these changes within if you want to experience the changes outside of you. Think for a minute about why so many families follow in their parents, their grandparents, or their great-grandparents' footsteps. It's because they've been programmed by the things they constantly heard. You know, that's how we learn language or tables. We learn it all through repetition. So I'm going to say to you, make a decision today that you're going to use the power of repetition to change yourself, because you're going to gain incredible knowledge. You're going to gain new perspectives and build a new model of ideas that you become emotionally involved with. And this is going to change the results in your life. You'll be amazed. I'm telling you from my own current experience, it's quite amazing. And you will be amazed at how many new opportunities come your way. Opportunities that might have been there all the time, but you couldn't see them because we can only see the contents of our consciousness. And what we're trying to do here is expand it, make it bigger, create ideals here. Because your consciousness is filled with old programs, and that's why we keep getting the same results over and over. I remember reading something that Buckminster Fuller said, and he said, you never change things by fighting the existing reality. You change things by building a new model that makes the old one obsolete. And that's the plan here, that we are going to be building a new model of our programming that makes the old one obsolete. We don't need it anymore. We can junk it. And that's what repetition will do for you. And that's how you can stay positive, even if the rest of the world is filled with the most awful negativity, which, let's face it, sometimes it is. But you, my lovelies, you are going to figure out how to live the life you want. You are going to figure out how to stay positive, how to create your own environment, both inner and outer, and how to decree your own destiny. You're not going to be in the hands of anything or anyone else anymore. So never stop studying, never stop learning, and never stop growing. This is the way to stay positive. And remember this, my lovelies, you really can have everything you want. Relationships, career, financial freedom, everything can be yours. Not for the taking, simply for the receiving. Your new world is waiting. And that's it from me for today, my lovelies. I hope you enjoyed this broadcast enough to share it with more like-minded people. And until next time, may your life be filled with positivity and many, many blessings. And I'm now going to answer any questions anybody has or reply to any comments. So for everybody who wants to leave, I'm going to love you and leave you. And for everybody else, let's see what we have. Okay, I said hello. Christy Burridge tells me it's raining in Australia. Well, we've had more storms here than I care to remember, although today we do have a beautiful sunshiny day. And it's winter in Australia. That's what I thought. Suzanne White, be around positive people. Yes. Jackie joined. Hey, Jackie. Let's see. Hello from Elizabethtown. Loretta. Darlene is here. Asa is here. Barb is here. Krishnan is here. Let's see if we have any questions. Jean says, I wish you could give me positive vibes. You just choose it, Jean. You just say, honestly, I'm telling you, repeat to yourself, I feel positive. I feel wonderful. Just keep saying that over and over and over. And before too long, you find yourself, you'll recognize this vibration that you're in. And if you're not accustomed to being positive, it might feel a bit uncomfortable. Stick with it because it's going to bring you great things. Let's see if we have. They say, Suzanne White says, if you finally make goals for yourself daily, you are successful. Peace within first. Everything within first, my lovely. Tracy Smith, truth. Seeing many are stuck. I know, it really is. I hear from them every single day. But you know, it's no more difficult to decide to be positive than it is to decide to be miserable. The energy is the same, but the vibration that we find ourselves in, that is entirely different. Melanie says, life is an uphill battle most times. Mental health issues, everyone has them. Yeah, I know. I don't agree. I don't think everyone does have them. I do think lots of people have them, but I equally think that lots of people who think that they have mental health issues, maybe they don't. Maybe it's simply the vibration that they're in. But for those who do, you need expert help. Please reach out. Find somebody that you resonate with that can help you. If you do what you always did, you get what you always got, says Kim. That's true enough. I love these simple little quotes that just put a pin in it. Abigail says, Kim says, get God. Let's see. How does all this relate to someone dealing with a healthy issue? You mean an issue of health, perhaps? Well, your body is in a vibrational frequency all the time. So if you want to, you know, we know that our mind creates sickness. And so I'm going to say to you, why can't our mind create wellness as well? And I say that it can. And I say that it can because I've personally done it. So I'm just going to say the same thing applies to, be it health or whatever experiences that you're having in your world. What else? RM is going to catch the replay. Hey, RM. Sharon is very unhappy with her mate. He's just lost his job and I feel guilty leaving. Why? Why indeed? It's, you know, our perspective on life, our perspective on things, our belief, our programming is all going to subject us to these feelings. And the way that I move myself out of that is I simply choose to believe that something wonderful comes out of everything. I choose to believe that. I'm at choice. You're at choice. We're all at choice about what we're going to believe. And I'm going to tell you one thing that most of us do. We believe every thought that we have. Do not do this anymore. Do not believe that every thought that you have is true, because it isn't. It's just a thought. And if it's a thought that isn't putting you in a great vibration, you need to change it, regardless of what it's about. And that's my best response to that one, Sharon. Kimberly, thank you for your kind words. And R.M. Alexander, if I can make myself feel sad, then I can make myself feel happy. Bingo, bingo, nail on the head. Okay, I think that's it from me. So everybody who's still here, as I say, may you have a beautiful, positive, and blessed week ahead. I'm going to love you and leave you.